Morning, everybody, and it is always a pleasure whenever I have the webinar to share my experience, my thing, and that's what I'm trying to do across. Even I have been learning quite a lot every day. The best, I think so. I write whatever I learn in a weekly basis to my LinkedIn, and then I thought, okay, everybody says nowadays nobody reads map, so you should make a reel. I'm not good at those, so I'll just try to do. So last post I wrote it, what you love about your job, and of course that is the best part of our job is you meet a lot of people, and when you meet a lot of people, you realize that people's thinking, the perspectives, and there are so many different aspects which I have never thought of. And that is the best part, I always feel, because you learn every day new and you see how you can do it because. So today I'm just trying to give a different perspective because in last 10 days or maybe 15 days, I have met so many people where this topic actually came quite often. And I said, let me take this as a subject and try to see and understand what people do. So I was just, you just imagine, I was just trying to say, maybe your best friend or maybe a person whom you think is very close to you. What things comes in your mind? So at least I know if I have a good friend, we will say, okay, that person is good empathy, that person is a good helping nature, is a good listener, is always with me at any time. Nobody will say that, okay, that person have so much of money, that's why he's with me. Because at end, our behavior speaks. And I was just going and relating again and again, lot of things when I spoke with these few people. I was thinking in the olden days, not of course nowadays all the wedding and events they say the presence is the present, but most of the time previously anybody used to give a gift. We used to write it who has given how much money or effort of the gift. So it's not that what they have given, the intention was always how to give back. The same thing is happening now. So many different, I can say, restaurant I have heard of that people says that okay, you because I went to the recently last year Singapore. That time also they said they also have the same concept that you eat and what you feel it is worthy, you put the money. And when they ask the owner, they says that if I must have put the menu card, I must have got much lesser than the what people feel. So the story today I am trying to tell is actually it's not a number. It is a human behavior. So you can say financial behavior or a people behavior where we speak. I am so for me, it's a very common thing that all customers and all clients are my family, and my family is a client. Is a both the sides part of it. When I go and meet anybody, nobody will tell me, okay, Rachna, you have given so much of XIRR or so much of CAGR or so much of returns. People normally comes and it's a proud moment when they introduce to your family that because of them, my kid is going abroad, and because of this, I'm able to do the wedding on this scale. And that's a proud moment for us that it's their money. We have just helped them to go in the direction. But you feel that they realize that because of the fine tuning they are able to achieve those events. And that is what today's my topic is all about. People talk finance on number, and my past 18-20 years of meeting people, managing people, it's not that I don't talk on numbers. Of course I in this industry we will talk on number, but that is a byproduct kind of it. Or I can say that things is comes over the period that yes, how you are giving the returns. So today I am going to talk about how your story is not a number. You're not a number. You are talking about
Can you please share once again the screen?
yeah, you have
Giving me
become
a
a host. That's why you have taken me.
don't reclaim it. Yeah, 1 minute. Just a minute. Yeah, now please go ahead.
Yeah, so today I am just trying to explain you uh, that our goals are. So today morning, of course, I was speaking with my daughter. My daughter is in Singapore, and she's not keeping well. And then you start saying that that person is actually emotionally linked. It's not that you're number based. So I want you all to start thinking in a different ways, because somebody came to me very recently telling that he, and which is a very common thing which I always tell the people. It is not. I'm not against fintech, or I'm not against. I always believe that God has given everybody enough to be taking their needs, not a greed kind of it. So there was a data which came recently from MFI saying that because I do have my first SIP started in 94, and I still have it. So I always tell people, whoever comes and tell you to do something, you ask them, is it they do have or not? It's very easy for me also to write in Excel, showing the compounding, showing that how it works. But how many of us have those SIPs or the funds going more than 7 years, 10 years, 15 years? I can tell boldly I have 30 years. But how many of us can tell that? Because all of us goes always in a short term, the quicker term. It is just a thing that how I can make the quick money. As per me, there is nothing called quick money. My dad was in army, and that's the best part. I feel it's a discipline, and that comes to us by product. I go to teaching on a master's or colleges, and my always the last when I ask, no, if you have any questions. So the question comes to me most of the time: how to make a double the money in a year? How to make the quick money? Can you give me the tips? So this is the very common question, and I actually am been known for a laughing quite a lot, and I laugh loud and I say, if I knew to make any money double, I must be next to the Mambanis or something. I won't be coming and teaching you. So point is not that you make money or not. You may make money from one funds, two funds, but how your portfolio is making money, for what? We need to understand we are doing that money, or we are, which is a by, I always say it's like an oxygen. For what? When you started relating the money, that this is for my car purchase, this is for my house, this is for my kids education, this is for my retirement, you will not withdraw that, because you know, if I withdraw it, it is going to impact. So this is a very powerful slide to me. I always says, most of the people, okay, most of the people, and they will say, okay, you just put the your report or NSDL or something, and these funds are doing good or not. I do another webinar on a behavior sign which says that any top performing fund in the 3 years are not even in the bottom, we call quartile. It's not even in a bottom. Means who's 1 to 10 will be more than 70, 80, 90 ranking after 3 years. So what we are looking, so looking and you are making money is not when you are churning or when you are saying, okay, this fund is good or not good. So I walk with a lot of my friends, and of course, they all are entrepreneur with a different, what you call, places where there some are developers, some are having their own car business and all. And they tell me, Rachna, the money actually why people used to do in the olden days, LIC, PF, PPF, and all, because those were locked in, because they were locked in, they stayed long. And when you stayed long, I am sure if somebody is making a mutual fund or a stock or something and staying for 15 years like a PF, including I have seen myself, you will get more than 7 to 8% returns, even post tax. So I want you to start thinking when you're investing, what for you are investing, and is it that investment option has come? Recently somebody came yesterday itself and saying, because it's a quite common कि रचना, यदि एफडी में किया होता तो भी अच्छा होता, यदि गोल्ड करती तो डबल ही हो गया होता. So that's a question keeps asking on gold, silver and all. But and another person says that I purchased a silver and it has come almost 50, 60%. So I was trying to explain that everything has its own timing. So we should do diversification, no doubt about it. But gold have a different cycles, you have equity have a different cycles, and silver have a different cycle. So every cycles are different, and you need to see when to look. So if markets are low. So you're not looking only market 50, but you have to start looking on how those market is going to help you to achieve the goal. So that's what my theme is all about, because I'm just going to give a more and more examples where you can start relating. So, what mostly the people's goals are. So, when we speak, so somebody asked me, what is the persona of your customers or a client? And I always says, it's not that I don't have a young people, but most of the time, people getting married or about having a kid is the best person who started doing, because they started feeling that yes, I have to start taking care of my family, my retirement, my kids' education. And now kids' education has gone quite a lot with the trend, which is if they go abroad, of course, it is goes to 1.5 to 2 crores in a graduation and 1 crore on a master's. But even in India, my son is now in a 12th first year degree. And I was telling him that nowadays a basic degree is also costing you 25K. 25 lakhs. So nowadays it's quite a lot. So we need to plan being in I can say a salaried people or a regular people, because most of us when we are in 35 plus, we do have our own family, I can say expenses, EMIs and other things. How you try to take care of our goals, it works wonderful. So my always thought which I have followed. So my basic webinars are very clear. Either I'll give example of my what I follow, or I have been giving the live example of whom I meet. So I have been following from last 30 years. When my 94 I got a first job, and my dad said the same thing, that whatever you earn in hand, you just make sure that 20 to 25% you save. And 30 years later, I'm still doing the same. He never said that, okay, you save 2000, or 10,000, because when you start earning more, that value is too less. So you should always have the percentage which is linked. And I always says we should also spend. If I'm not spending, the your economy doesn't work. So that's a way you should spend, but first you should save and then spend. So I'll just go with the why we should focus on goal, then numbers part of it, or XIRR, or anything else part of it.
You work very hard because you want very best things for you and your family. So, begin setting up smart goals based on what you want, making sure they are specific with clear details, measurable with exact amount, attainable but challenging enough, realistic with necessary skills and knowledge. And it should be time bound so that you start taking action without any delay. Next, you need to know where you stand financially. List down what and how much assets you own. Also list down how much liabilities you have. The difference between these two is your real net worth. It will give you an idea about how far you are from your goals. Third pillar is to know how much you need to save. Normally, people save whatever is left after spending from their income. But the right way of saving is to set aside at least 30% of your income based on your financial goals from your income. And then use what is left for your expenses. And finally, you need to create a budget for your finances. Budget helps you to save more. Also ensure that the payment of personal debt should not exceed 25% of your income at any level. Call us.
So this reminds me very clearly, most of the people, they don't write budgets or they don't write their expenses. I have been doing writing expenses from maybe 30 years plus, because I started when I was in college also. But I'm trying to say we should write it, which I have seen in my daughter when I have told and she writes it. She will try to say that, okay, I'm spending money here, because nowadays the apps will tell you where to spending and all. And then she says, okay, how I can save? Or maybe I should not have done this. So when I wanted to do 2, 3 years back, Okay, for it was again, I think so 2 years back when it was a Women's Day coming as it's coming now. I said, okay, I will try to have few women to mentor them to how to become a financial independent. And then it around some 70 odd people have applied. And I said, I can't take so many, so I'll take five. So I asked the question to say that what is the reason why I should do it. So people, only seven people reply. So I said, okay, I'll make it seven people to take care of the financial goals for a 1 year, which is from my side, it's a thing that how I can help them. I had a one call, and second thing was for them was you will come back to me after a month when you will start writing an expense where you have spent the money, and you will surprised to know that I failed drastically because nobody came. So most of the time, you will realize it. Our people are not able to write. The discipline of writing is also not there, that where I'm spending the money. So this is the one thing which I always feel that what we should do it. Most of the people, when I speak with them, they say, oh, that product is giving so good returns, Rajna. This is giving not so good last 5 years, 3 years, it's not done good. So most of the people, when I see, people are talking about the product. I'm not saying products are wrong. Products are good. Products you require to achieve your goals. There is no second thought about it. But you need to see, to me, if somebody comes and asks me whatever amount it is, 1 crore, 5 crore, or 100 crores, the question is very clear that you need money for what? Is it for your work or regular income? It is for the succession. It is for a social cause. It is for starting your appreciation or whatever it is. You need to tell what is the goal and how long you want. So the goal, your duration, and the risk actually tell what product to do. It's not that it is like a we are wanted. I'm in a Bangalore. I'm staying in a Bangalore South. If I have to go to MG Road, which says 1 hour 20 minutes, but Jayanagar or some other place is telling 20 minutes. So I don't have to go to Jayanagar because it's showing me to go fastest route. I have to still have to take the place where is my destination is. So the best part of the Google, I always tell people is when we start in a Bangalore, it's always that we started at around 1 hour. And on the way, you will start saying that traffic is increasing. 1 hour is becoming 1 hour, 30 minutes. Google doesn't say that you're stupid, you don't do it anything. It'll say, I'll reroute it. And what will happen? We will just take a little longer duration and we will still reach it. So that is what I want you to all to say. It's okay to have with the premises what is the risk and thing, but make sure you reach the goal. Because day before somebody came and told me that Rachna, I have taken one of the funds. Somebody told me you will get it across some 26%, and I'm not able to get my capital. What to do? So I always tell a person it's a normal, don't have concept, never change, never dies. You have to know how to take care of your greed and the fear. If you are able to manage your fear and greed, you are through without fail. I don't know you, I can tell you, you will be able to do. The reason is you have to be very clear on how to take care of your 1 minute. Yeah. So how to take care of your greed part of it? Most of us, I people says why you wanted somebody as an advisor or something when you're paying for it when you can do it yourself. I say that's the price versus value you have to realize because most of the people, you must have realized that none or almost no people, doctor, surgery person doesn't do for their family member. It's not that they're not the best surgeon; they are the best surgeon, but the reason is the emotions comes out that so they says no, I may not be able to do the surgery. The same thing happened when you are applying for your portfolio. You are very become defensive and taking a logical I can say solution, you become more emotional. I have seen many times. Recently we were saying in IT companies may be doing bad, can we book the profit? And few people came, no Rachna, I'm insider the news, I know that it is too good. And then after some time, he says, okay, I lost so much. So I'm not saying, being myself worked in Wipro and Infosys, I always says, I think so. People outside, inside knows more than insider. But I always says, because we became very emotional. So any person who has stayed long will make any time better money than keep churning. I'm not saying that if it is not performing, you should not move it out, but you should move it out with the reasoning, not because it is saying that as a performance is good. It may be a fund manager has gone, or their philosophy has gone different, their strategies is different, you can change it. But not because they have not performing. Because they're not performing, it means that they are holding the funds which is already accumulating, and it is not showing on the value as of today, but it will come very soon. So investor behavior is very, very clear. Most of the time, people comes to me of saying that Ki, I have seen this, and it's not that I don't watch more social media, or I'm not a person. I always says, like, if people tease me like a 1942 old lady, I don't watch my social media or my mobile much. So people keep sending you, this person has told this person has told this, or this app is telling me this, what I should do. And most of the time, I have actually taken even up with the, I can say, regulator, that those are not right or whatever. Even SEBI is trying to say that how to remove those. But I wanted you all to start thinking one thing: whatever you do, please, because you have the best of it, try to go detailing. Nobody actually do even the disclaimer reading. Nobody is seeing that what it's saying, and they're losing the money. So it is not that why you should not switch. If the fundamentals are wrong, you should switch. But when you switch, your profit accumulated also goes. You have to start looking, is it that much impacting the tax? It's making sense or not? So many time people says, that's now when you will do profit booking. I said, yeah, we do it, but we always do the analysis that is it make sense or not, because few percentage and you're giving the tax, it is not going to be happen. So we need to know when we are moving. Try to understand when, because we this industry, fintech, or I can say financial industry, is going to work for next 20-25 years the best way, because our average age of India is around 28. And anyone, you can say that next 25 years they will work. Nobody will retire at 30 or 40. So they will work till 50, 55. And that is the best part of any global party. You can take Chinese, you can take UK, you can take US, you can take Australia. Everybody's age is above 50 average. So we are in the things where growth is going to happen. Just see around. Actually, on an average, you will find at least 2 to 3 delivery boys coming across your house every day. So I keep saying, if nothing happens, everybody will become, even delivery person also will earn 30,000. So what they will do, either they spend it or they save it. And if they spend it, that company grows and market grows. If they save it, still anywhere the market grows. So indirectly, economy and the markets are linked, and it will work very, very well. So you have to understand where you wanted to be and what money you wanted to save for. So I'll just have one more video on the same lines.
Have you ever made a money decision that felt smart and then kinda backfired later? Yes, you are not alone. Investing can be tricky. Sometimes we take a turn that leads nowhere, like buying a fund just because it gave great returns last year. Seems smart, right? But markets don't work on repeat. What went up before may not go up again. Then there is trying to buy low and sell high. Sounds clever, but no one knows exactly when the market is low or high. Most people guess and get it wrong. Some people follow tips from friends or social media. Try this one. It doubled my money. But if that fund is too risky for you, you may panic when it drops and sell at the worst time. And here is one more. Investing without a goal. No plan, no timeline, just saving something. Feels okay until you lose track and stop halfway. The truth is, these are common mistakes and they are easy to avoid. Know why you are investing. Choose what suits you. And once you start, stay regular. Mutual fund investment.
So long terms always uh, make sure that it is always perform better. So that's another things I keep saying. We are comparing sometimes the market with the silver and gold. But yes, when you start looking, when the market is at the bull time, you will find a different what you call returns, because averaging is coming later. But to give you the brief, normally the market cycles are 8 to 9 years, where up and down. So, but the gold is around 12 to 14 years, and the silvers are at 30 years. So cycles are very different. So if you see, so normally when we see the data, we'll just see for decades or for 20 years, 30 years and all, and the cycles makes a lot of difference. We do should have the, as a portfolio, we says we should keep maximum of 10%. Not gold as a jewelry. That's another thing. Yesterday somebody came and I keep buying the jewelry and all. I said jewelry is an emotion. Next thing is, if you wanted to sell, you will not sell, and then you have a making charges of 20%, 3% GST. It makes no sense. So if you're talking about gold or silver, I'm assuming you are talking about bullion or the ETFs. So I also follow the Warren Buffett. I'm sure all of the person will do always the same thing. Try to see how you can compound when you stay long. Try to see when you are down. So they always is when other is fearful, that's the best part of it. So I always tell people it's the easiest way for me is I have not stopped SIP for last 30 years. And when, and of course I don't see the portfolio so often, because the best part is the kids education is done and another one is yet to do it. So when that time I will just look it across. So please try to see that how to make sure that your all the investments are linked to the goals, and you should continue what you are supposed to do to make sure that goals are achieved. Frequent switching doesn't make sense much. I always tell people you need somebody to speak with. It's like that somebody says, oh, your fees is high, or I should not do that. I said, it's a perfectly fine. It's a price versus value you do. Recently somebody asked me in Banagata Road, this one is coming what you call metro. So when you come next time, you will come in a metro. And I said, no, I will not come in a metro. So they said, why? You can save the time. So I said, no, I have always seen it's not now. Even previously, I have done that. And I'm a person who does a lot of timing and time, money, energy analysis kind of it. So I said, I have always seen whenever I have gone within a metro, of course, I have to go to here to eventually, and coming that takes 15 minutes, then again 5 to 10 minutes for getting that. Then you need to change and then come. It takes to me maximum, I am reducing only 10 minutes time. But when I'm going in a metro, I am not able to get seat maybe most of the time. Or if I have to give somebody because somebody's older, you have to carry your laptop bag. When I am in a car, on an average, I take a 4 to 5 customer and the client calls, which is much, much more productive than having a driver, which is that money. So you have to realize, is it paying the driver is too much costly, or because of that time, 1.5 hour, I have been able to speak with a person and do a major job. So that we have sometimes go into pricing so much that the value what we are getting on the time and work is not coming to us importance. Even this presentation I've tried to making with the gamma, and I feel all this AI is helping in our efficiency. If they help in my efficiency for 3 hours, what 3 hours productive I have done something. So we are not realizing the productivity what I am efficiency increasing, but we are saying, okay, I am paying this product which is more higher. Try to do that. See most of the time how to take care of your tax efficiency, long term behavior, and how you can have a peace of mind. That's very, very important. Real estate and the debt, a lot of time, if I remembered, my parents must have done it, LIC, PPF, FDs, or GPO kind of it. Because that time those were giving 12 to 14%. If somebody is telling you 12 to 14%, I'm giving you fixed return, nobody wants to go to equity. Second thing is, that time there was no much of the tax part of it. So now when you are looking, you have to make sure that things are inflation linked, you are preserving, which is a regular and taking care of your basic regular income, and make sure when you are taking care that diversification and asset allocation is taken care of. overall part. Few trends are happening quite a lot, which I wanted to say when I'm doing a lot of retirement planning, which is the best part of a retirement planning, is talks about it, which we are trying to say, make 1 minute, my laptop may reset, I'll come back again. So it's starting saying that mm, it's okay. People say 40,000, 50,000, and all. I said they're perfectly fine, but you have to start realizing nowadays, my in-laws, my parents, I have seen that when you have elderly care or the medicine cost is much, much more than anything else. Investor staying is very, very low, where we always feel that how to make sure people are staying much, much later than anybody else. So I'll just take a pause and ask any other questions before I do that part of it, because it's starting a restart for me. So I'll take it from another perspective. So this is the last two slides, which I am going to do it now. Yeah. So I will start thinking that most of the time people are being saying uh, how we have taken a train. This is a few examples I wanted to put across when we are looking. If someone have to go to Delhi and the train is going to Delhi, you will take a ticket till Delhi. It is not that you will feel regret, oh, this train is going to Srinagar, why I didn't go through it. So same thing I always say is when you are having a life stages, you know you wanted to go till where. That's the one point I wanted to put very clearly. Second thing is, I whenever there is a salary hike, I always says when people comes to me, they never come and tell me that my salary is low. They always says the other person's salary is why high or less. And I say that other person is not going to give you the money when you really need it. So you have to realize what that person must have done good or how you can do improvement to make sure that you are doing what you can. So the conclusion of today's is my trying to say, when we are doing investment, focus on your goals, focus on whatever is a risk and tenure of yours. Don't much bothered about what others are doing, because others portfolio is not going to come and help you out. Look, returns are very important. Have very clarity on an averaging basis when you are talking about equity long term, 14 to 15%, keeping in a 5 to 10 years perspective. When you're in a hybrid, taken 10 to 11%, and a debt is normally 5 to 6%. So those are the things, instead of keep looking every time on a benchmarks, these are 10 years rolling, which will give you happy and clarity. If my returns and my portfolio is taking care of my family, my goals and everything, I don't have to worry about what is my neighbors or my performance on a benchmark is going to do. Always feel peaceful, do something which is making you peace of mind,